Do you ever wonder if you could just use Epsom salt versus using a CalMag product? Well, in this video, we're going to get into it. You're here with Mark Boutwell at perfectgardens.com. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It's always helpful with the YouTube algorithms. Come here to perfectgardens.com for all your growing essential needs, whether you need complete grow room packages, tents, cabinets, film for blacking out, grow lights, hydroponics, growing essentials. There are no guarantees in life, although I'm pretty sure I can beat anyone's price out there. Just let me know. Just want to say thank you so much for Cappy21. Thought your question was very stimulating, and I really appreciate you for asking. So real quick, Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. CalMag, depending upon what brand you're buying it from, it could be magnesium sulfate, it could be some other type of magnesium, it could be calcium carbonate, it could be some type of offshoot calcium. I've got into, in this channel, explained all the different types of chemicals. I mean, every single time you guys ask me to do another product review, I come back and show you how many different types of nitrogens there are, magnesiums, or the chemical compositions, showing you that they're not the same product. So depending upon what brand you're buying it from, I can't tell you specifically what it is. But Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. The reason why a lot of times magnesium sulfate works so well is because of the chlorophyll molecule. And if you haven't checked out our videos of the benefits of nitrogen, I highly recommend to do so, because I actually break down what chlorophyll is. And chlorophyll, each molecule is actually bounded around magnesium. So the molecular formula of chlorophyll is C55H72O5N4 and magnesium. So what does that mean, right? The magnesium is bounded by 4 nitrogen molecules, 5 oxygen molecules, 72 hydrogen molecules, and 55 carbon. Although when you just get magnesium sulfate, what ends up happening is you start to throw the law of tolerance and the law of minimum into play. So the law of tolerance basically states that all minerals have their certain level of tolerance for the minimum and the maximum. If you go below or above these thresholds, nutrient lockout would begin to happen. And so if you have too much of one and not enough of the other ones, then once again you begin to have nutrient lockout or some issue like that. So that's the law of tolerance. The law of minimum states that it is not the macro minerals or the most amount of minerals in the environment that controls the release of the nutrients. It's actually the least amount of that one trace mineral. So kind of going back into the law of tolerance, like what I was saying, is that law of tolerance is that minimum. Same thing with the law of minimum, is that you might be maxing out, putting in all these other trace minerals, but if you're missing one, then it's going to limit the release of all those other ones. So what does CalMag do for you? Well, CalMag increases those trace minerals around it. I don't want to call it minerals because it's calcium, but it increases the calcium as well as the magnesium and helps with the law of tolerance and the law of minimum, keep it more even. This is also why I go back to talk about drops of balance, right? Drops of balance has 65 plus negative ionic trace minerals. So what are we doing there, right? We're dramatically increasing the amount of minerals that are available in your system. And by doing that, that increases the law of minimum and increases the law of tolerance. It gives them more a different threshold. I am a huge proponent of magnesium, and if you are a large farmer or a grower and you are in tune to your plants and you kind of comprehend what's going on, you understand the mixing ratios, or let's say you have 10,000 gallon mixing containers, 100% I would highly recommend to buy in bulk, and the cheapest way to do it is to buy nutrients that is one product, right? Epsom salt. Don't go buy magnesium sulfate where they're going to increase the price 2 or 3 times the amount because they're calling it magnesium sulfate. You go buy Epsom salt, which is the commercial of the exact same thing. Yeah, it might not be pharmaceutical grade, but it's commercial grade, and that means 99% versus 100% basically most of the time. Although if you're a smaller grower and you haven't been growing for a number of years, I probably wouldn't recommend you Epsom salt. And if the problem was just immediately arising and you had a product like CalMag on your shelf already and you already purchased it, I would recommend you to use it if you were having veiny issues like in the plant and the signs and symptoms were appearing to use this product. Although if you didn't have any of these products and you haven't got your growth started and you haven't bought your nutrient line, then I would probably recommend you purchase Drops of Balance and whatever base nutrients you are growing and start with that, and then slowly incorporate other additives based upon your growing desires and techniques, whether growing with synthetic or microbiology. Guys, you are the grower. You are the head honcho in your grow room. If you feel comfortable with getting down to the exact or the specific, do it. Just be in tune to these plants. They're going to tell you if something's going wrong. And don't live in your ego thinking that your solution was correct if you start to have adverse effects. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great grow, everyone. When you give it what it needs as it needs, and you're not giving excess water moisture and all these other things that cause other stresses like bugs or mold or